okay, can we do an innovation project within the existing business, within my existing work, and see, can we improve something using all the tools that we gained in the program to then, let's say, increase the revenue of the company, make the people work there more happy, make it more environmentally friendly, etc., etc. So yeah, we'll give in the second semester, students will give them a lot of freedom to do what they want to focus on. So that are some of the courses that we're offering. Also in one interesting new course is called Inclusive Entrepreneurship, where we will be working with an NGO from the Netherlands who work in a lot of developing markets. So for that course, we'll work with some local organizations in Bangladesh and see, can students doing projects, entrepreneurial projects, can they also create value and kind of opportunities for themselves there as well. So that's a little bit about the courses and the teaching method. Not sure if you want to add on or.
Yeah. So to summarize, right? So we actually do a lot of team teaching. So some of our classes actually might be like this. We have two people coming and facilitating the class. So in most of our sessions, we would seldom call them as lecturers, but facilitators, because we look at learning as not I am speaking, you are learning kind of a mode. We actually look at how can we all learn together, because everyone has knowledge to share. And when we speak further about who we try to recruit and how we try to recruit, we will actually talk more about that collegial learning aspect as well, peer learning, we call it, how students can learn from each other. And we can learn from you as well. There are a lot of things we might not know, which you might know. And then how can we build upon that to create new knowledge and create new innovative ways of learning.
All right, so I also want to talk a little bit about so what you're actually, so we talked about the courses, but I want to discuss a little bit what are we actually doing inside the classroom. So what kind of type of teaching do we have? What kind of classes, when you're actually in the during the classes, what kind of things are we doing? So again, as Aloysius already mentioned, we don't really like let's say lectures where I talk for or Aloysius talks for 2 or 3 hours and you just listen and make notes. We don't really think that's very helpful for or it's not the best way to learn things. So we do a lot of interactive workshops, let's say sessions where you learn how to apply to things and do things instead of just listening to us speaking. So one method that we use is design thinking. So originally that was developed at Stanford University, where you look at, the first thing that you do is looking at a certain community. What are some of the problems that they have, some of the difficulties that they face, and then look for, okay, what is the opportunity there, or what is the thing that I can work on and maybe improve something on. So that's also very helpful if you, for example, want to start your own business. You can look at a certain group of clients and see, okay, what can we do in order to create a business opportunity there. Another method is Lego serious play. Looks like playing, but it is also a method to kind of learn how to collaborate, learn how to build things, learn how to let's say collaborate within a team and understand your roles within a team as well. Yeah. So one thing that we also do is Arduino training. So we'll have a humanitarian technology course in the program where students learn how to use certain simple technology. You don't have to have any technology background, but simple technology like Arduino, which you can use to program simple systems, simple robotic systems. so that you can also think about how can we make prototypes or how can we make potential, let's say, yeah, showing our product, what our potential product would be for those groups of people that you've talked to, that you have identified. Let me, yes. Then we do something called design challenges. Maybe Aloysius can talk about it.
Yeah, so when you talk about design thinking, we kind of highlighted the 5-step process, right? Of course, the 5-step process is very theoretical if you don't try to use that process. So this is a demonstration of how we train students in the design thinking process. So we just don't teach the framework, but we ask the students to try to practice the design thinking framework. So in this slide, you can see different design challenges. What is basically, we tell the students, okay, this is a problem which exists in a particular situation, and then the students go and talk to the specific stakeholders. So the first one is very simple one. So the Lingnan University campus actually has a lot of trees and plants. So whenever there is a lot of trees and plants, there is a lot of mosquitoes in the summer. So what we tell the students is, okay, so there is a lot of mosquitoes on campus. So talk to the people in the campus. So they just don't talk to students, but everyone in the campus who are part of the community, right? So they talk to people who work in Lingnan as a staff, as a faculty, and also students, and also contract workers who actually spend most of their working time in the campus. So they talk to them, they try to understand, do they really face the problem, right? So we can all think about problems. We think it's a problem because we feel it like once, but asking everyone, it helps us to understand the problem better. What is the situation of the problem really in campus? So that is, again, and then they go through the design process. So they define the problem, they come up with different solutions for the problem. And to again, we just don't tell the students, oh, this is a problem, just think about solutions. We actually have a lot of different tools we use during this process where we trigger the students to come up with different types of ideas. We give them constraints, we motivate them with negative brainstorming sessions and so on. So again, so that is a simple problem in campus. Then we actually think about something a bit more complex like straws, right? We all use straws when we drink something with ice in it, so that the ice doesn't come to our mouth. So it's easier to drink the liquid. So and it's causing a lot of pollution in the ocean. So one of the other sessions would be how do you redesign straws so that it does not cause a lot more pollution. Then the third one is in Hong Kong, in fresh markets. I think in most countries, fresh markets, there's a lot of packaging waste. So when the fruits come in big boxes, when the fruits are sold, the packaging is actually thrown out. And those packaging contributes to the waste. So one of the challenges was to look at packaging waste and then try to redesign this system which exists. Can you charge more so that there is money paid to recycle these packages or something? And then last and the most complex thing which Hong Kong is ever known for is the subdivided flats. So as you can see, the design framework can be used for all these different challenges. So any problem which the students want to work on would actually fall in this spectrum. It can be a simple product development to very complex socioeconomic problems. So all these can be at least tackled with the design thinking framework we use.
Yeah, so we want to teach you this kind of skills and tools so that regardless of after you graduate, wherever you work, you can apply these methods, these tools to any type of situation. Some videos of where this is a place where with students we went to a maker bay. So that's a place where students can create some of their prototype ideas, some of their product ideas, etc. Let me. And then also an important part of what we teach, especially in the first semester in the design methods course, is to teach you storytelling in the sense of how can you, once you have a great idea, once you have a lot of data, how can you then present that effectively? So how can you tell stories? How can you do presentations in a very effective and compelling way? Because yeah, we also think this is a skill regardless of where you work. It's always very helpful if you can convince people, if you can get people to think about these kind of ideas.
For now, just past around 20 minutes. So 接下来的话呢，我为各位同学还有各位咱们的参加者呢简单的为各位翻译一下I just afraid of someone really didn't understand. 那么各位伙伴呢刚刚过去短短20分钟呢，咱们岭南大学2位教授呢给各位呢简单陈述了一下这个社会企业呢还有创新的这个课程的话呢，包含的一些学习的内容那基本上呢，学习的内容是特别丰富和多元化的。就比如刚刚看到的他们同学展示的这个轮椅的这个项目是同学们亲自参与创新的，还有这个平时他们参与的服务的一些 NGO 了。然后这个是他们课程的3个主要的元素创新还有科技，还有企业家的一个课程。而且呢，就算是你不辞职，你在你们公司内部进行创新也是可以的而且它这个课程当中呢，涉及到的学分的话呢，在每个元素后面也都给大家进行了这个填充你比如说创新的这个板块的话，有2个课程一个是创新管理，一个是介绍这个 ESG， 分别是3个学分。那么另外呢，就是人文科技也有15个学分，还有企业家精神这边呢也有6个学分然后这个是当中的这个他们的设计思考他们玩这个乐高very interesting 对这个机器人的一个课程，还有他们的一个设计挑战他这刚刚那个 Jasper 教授说到的，这个是他们香港的小伙伴们呢去香港的一个那个叫做创新中心进行的手工的一个做法。然后呢，这里是this part we didn't OK 那么呢，接下来呢还有应该around 还有20 minutes Yes 接下来还有20分钟时间呢，我们就请2位教授继续为大家分享，然后在适当的时候呢，我为大家翻译一下那个谢谢各位同学那么 just pass time to Jasper.
Thank you, David, for the translation. Yes, something that we also do is because we want you to have a look at existing companies, existing startups, maybe labs or places that do innovation. So we do field visits to, for example, startups and those innovative companies. So here, visit that we did last year, field visit, was to VR lab. So here you can see some of our students who are testing out the equipment. This VR lab they make specifically. They make some applications for training, for example, the people at the airport in Hong Kong who have to drive around the suitcases and who have to work on the airport. They have some training programs for them. So basically, they use VR to do some of, or they use VR to develop some of these kind of training programs for the airport in Hong Kong. We also went to a startup that is focusing on cryptocurrency. So it's a cryptocurrency exchange. It was very interesting, of course, quite a hot topic. And the founder of the organization, who you can see here, was sharing with our students. Students could ask questions and then learn more about this kind of upcoming kind of business. And also something that we want to really emphasize is focus on kind of real life projects. Again, we don't think like outside of university, you don't really have situations where it's just one person talking for 3 hours and then you're listening and trying to learn. So we really want to make it more close to, let's say, the real world. So we invite, for example, people from outside of the university. So here you see the elderly lady to discuss about, for example, student designs, students' ideas. These students were working on some, I think, some products or businesses related to the elderly. So that's why they were talking to elderly to figure out, okay, what are their needs? What are their kind of requirements? What do the elderly think about the students' ideas? Also, we work together with universities from abroad. Of course, in recent years, because of COVID-19, travel was very hard, but still, for example, in Aloysius entrepreneurial leadership course, we invite a lot of professors from other universities as well, maybe people from business world around, different places around the world. So this you can, not just get us to teach you about innovation and entrepreneurship, but also people who are doing that in the field, let's say. So maybe Aloysius, from this course, you can maybe mention an interesting speaker.
Yeah, so for most of the things, we try to bring in different types of speakers, as I said, for the entrepreneurial leadership course. And some of them are people who actually work in developing country setting. So some of them work in Asia, some of them work in Africa, some of them work in South America. And one of these speakers is Vice Provost of Lehigh University, who actually is one of our program advisors as well. And he routinely talks to the students about some of the ventures he created. And he talks about how do you think about problems among people who are who we consider as poor, but they form the majority of the world population. And even these people would pay money to solve some of the problems. So how do you work to develop solutions for the vast majority of the people rather than people who use iPhones, right? So people who use iPhones are like very, very small percentage of the world population, but the rest are also consuming products and services. How do you build products and services so you actually can have not 100 million customers, but 2 billion, 3 billion customers? So how do you develop products and services for that? So that is his way of thinking. And a lot of our program also looks at what Jasper talked about from our collaborators from Netherlands. Their organization is called Bob Inc., so which is base of the pyramid. So the base of the pyramid in the world is very broad. It's more than 60-70% of the world population. So we look at, of course, that is why our program is social entrepreneurship and innovation management, right? So we look at solving problems in the community, which also have a social element to it, but at the same time, how can you be sustainable and generate revenue? And that is why we give examples, because Hong Kong is a bit more complex in the socioeconomic fabric as it is. But when we work in developing settings, it actually becomes a lot more obvious how you design products in these developing settings.
Right. Then I want to talk a little bit about what kind of people we welcome to apply to the program. So one group of people is recent graduates. So maybe people who've just finished, or they're this year, they're still studying the bachelor degree in university, and they will finish maybe in summer, and then right away they want to go into master program. We have a certain percentage of the master students for the SCIM program are this kind of students. And then the background, because we deliberately want to have people from different types of major. So if we only have business majors, for example, in the program, maybe it's not so, it doesn't really help with students getting more creative and working with, learning how to work with a lot of different types of people. So we have people from business world, of course, but also from arts, from design, from technology, let's say engineering and computer engineering, sciences. So we deliberately choose, a very broad kind of sense. Then also we have students who are already working for either a few years or even a long time already. Even some students, for example, they've already worked for 15 years and then they want to study again, study more. So that is also, we also very much welcome those students because they can, with the younger students, share their experience and talk about, they know a lot, of course, about, for example, doing business in certain areas. So we also encourage those students to share their knowledge with the other younger students. So you can use the program to kind of start your career if you haven't worked before, but you can also use it to further study and either if you're working in a company, maybe you can get promotion after completing the program, or you can, if you have your own company already, you can continue studying and maybe create more innovation within the company that you have.
Just to add to what Jasper said, as Jasper said, we have people from a lot of different backgrounds. So this gives the students an opportunity to kind of create more innovative products or solutions. So so we also have a course, as I said, the entrepreneurial leadership course, where students actually start their own company and run their business in a semester. So it actually helps when there is an art student as well as a science student as well as a business student to actually be able to have the capacity to run a business, right? So so in a semester they cannot learn everything, but when they have people from different backgrounds, it's very easy to put together all this different knowledge and create something of value, and you create value to sell to customers. And of course, we have around, I think, 20% of the class we have this year have at least 3 to 5 years of work experience. So there's a lot of people with experience, and some of them are even serial entrepreneurs. They actually have multiple businesses already. And the reason some of them mention they want to join the program is to kind of get a reboot to their thinking process. Because when you do something for such a long time, you actually get clogged by your thinking process and the people around you. So some people actually join the program to actually get some energy into their life and their startup environment, as well as they might have been just in business sector, which is like pure profit making. So it comes to a point in their life where they want to think about social good as well. They want to give back to the society. They want to also introduce some of the social elements to their business ideas. So that is also a reason why some of the experienced people join. And of course, the experienced people come from big multinational companies to, as I said, a serial entrepreneur who has started multiple businesses. So we look at this as a way in which you create more validity and authenticity to your experience working with different types of people, so that you might be inspired to start your own business based on somebody who is in class or with somebody who's in class.
And then finally, I want to mention one more group of students who also often join our program. That's students who are, for example, their family has a business and their parents, they want to join a business, start managing certain aspects, but they need more experience. So then they also join the program so that after the year here, studying this program, they can go back to their family business and become experienced managers there.
这
So
个中文
yes. So a little bit about the this one. I put it in Chinese on the
Yes. Very
PowerPoint.
good.
So a little bit about the requirements for getting into or applying to the program and then getting in. So the minimum things that you need to have is a bachelor degree. And then if the bachelor degree, if it's not from an English speaking university, you also need things like TOEFL or IELTS score. And then after you apply, because we get quite a lot of applications. So after you apply, what you will do is you will get an interview. So maybe me or Aloysius or some of my other colleagues will talk to you, ask you about your interest in the program, why you are applying, what you think you will learn, etc. And then based on that, we will kind of select students to enter the program. And for this year, let's say the next year of the program that starts after the summer, the deadline for applications is 30 of June. So if you want to apply, do that before that time. The tuition fee, it's here in Hong Kong dollars, so that's 150,000. There are scholarships, but those are competitive. Of course, we look at the total number of students and see who we offer a scholarship, and that's after applications.
We covered already.
We actually already discussed this. Then a little bit about how, besides the classes at Lingnan, you can also use the program and your time at Lingnan University to develop yourself more. So one thing is, again, our connections with the community. So you will get to know NGOs, you'll get to know social enterprises. So you'll start building a network in Hong Kong. But also the university itself offers quite a lot of, let's say, incubation programs for offering some funding to students for developing their own business. There's additional training, let's say training in career development, how to apply for jobs, how to do certain things related to your job hunt and after you graduate. So just to give you one example, we have an entrepreneurship program where with a team you can within the university apply for a funding to start your own business, so that first you can develop your idea within the university itself, and then once you have using that fund, of course this fund is not enough to have start a very big business yet, but it is enough to start, for example, create your prototype. So create your first version of your product that you want to sell, and then using that you can go to investors or maybe government funding to apply for more to further expand your project. So at the university level itself, there's quite a lot of opportunities to start. If you have a good idea, to apply for funding and start your business, even maybe while you're still in your first semester of the program. All right.
It's the final part. For it's just around 20 minutes. 那么接下来的话呢，我会把两位教授所说的给大家简单翻译一下哦。然后呢，刚刚教授陈述了这个当中他们课程的同学会参加的一些项目哈，就甚至说呢，直接影响咱们香港当地社区的一些小的项目哈。然后就比如说他会和当地的一些 NGO 啊。还会和咱们不同大学之间的合作呀，还有甚至我们大湾区的一些可以赞助的一些机构啊。刚刚呢，教授咱们的王教授啊，我刚刚 知道咱们来自印度的王教授啊，刚刚给大家简单介绍了一下，他和不同大学之间的来往的交流哈。就比如说咱们北美的这几所名校，卡耐基梅隆啊，还有咱们这个是俄罗斯的啊，还有咱们这个非洲的一些学校啊，有和岭南大学这边都有相互的交流，所以大家将来来到香港这边呢，有很多的不同的世界各地的链接的机会。然后呢，这个学费很便宜啊，学费是15万港币。然后同时呢，咱们申请者呢可以和学校申请奖学金。对，然后这个是课程的一个简介啊，这个我就不陈述了。那另外呢，就是岭南大学这边呢会有一些这个创业的项目给到各位。甚至刚刚提到说呢，会有创业的资助。如果你现在呢，到了岭南大学求学的话呢，甚至直接可以拿到3万块钱的一个资助啊，还有这个学生的企业家探索发展的资金啊，每个 team 每个小团队可以拿到3万港币啊，也是不错的一笔钱呢。然后看这边呢。我刚刚教授这边提到说，他们希望和哪些同学入学呢？在这边呢，可以和大家分享一下啊。就甚至你是大学大4啊要毕业的同学也欢迎申请哈。还有一些刚入社会工作3、5年的同学也非常欢迎。另外呢，就是您这个工作了很久了哈，企业家高管，还有咱们如果是中小企的老板，高管当然都欢迎的啊。不同的人在这个社会企业家还有创新管理的这个项目当中呢，会有不同的火花啊。刚刚我和我的同事小凡呢都有交流啊。去年他的课程当中真的有一些大佬哈，真的有一些企业家在这当中，我都感到非常的惊喜啊 ，surprise。然后另外呢。这个课程的入学的标准呢，就是要是大学本科啊，要有学位。另外呢，还要有这个英文的成绩啊，就是雅思6.5分，托福550分，或者是国际网考的话是79分。那另外呢，这边呢还有一个特别的小字儿啊，就是没有学历的话，或者说但是有丰富的工作经验呢。咱们课程会考虑个人能力，以做特别评估啊。然后呢，截止日期呢是明年的6月30号。这个就是差不多哈。然后呢，这里的话呢，要和大家这边我看一下聊天室有没有什么问题啊？如果有问题呢，我们就可以和咱们的和咱们的教授聊一会儿啊，看一下咱们聊天室的问题有没有问题？没有问题。那么小伙伴们哈，咱们的腾讯会议室当中呢有16位小伙伴哈，咱们的小伙伴们有没有刚刚咱们2位教授的问题嘞？有没有？那么我作为咱们今天的 hoster 哈，I have a question.
Yeah.
就是for this program, it just you mentioned if they didn't meet the bachelor degree, they didn't have enough working experience. So for the past 2 years or 1 year, for this kind of students, how many we have?
Very exceptional cases.
Yes.
So actually, the bachelor's degree is a requirement. So that there is no exception.
No exception.
Yeah. So they need to have bachelor's degree to join the master's program. But for English, there is actually a certain requirement by the university, which is 6.5. If they are 6, I think there is some other requirements. But again, so that has to be gone through the interview process, and then we will let the students know how, if they get selected, how to kind of compensate for a lower English score. But of course, degree is a must. And of course, the vast majority of the students in the class this year and last year are fresh graduates. So they don't have any experience. But what we look for is, of course, they should be competent in English because all the classes will be in English. Right?
Yes.
And the second one is if they are enthusiastic about how well they present themselves,
Yes.
right? So even if they are good in English and they don't really express themselves properly, it is very difficult to engage them
Yes.
during the interview. So those are the two things. So how enthusiastic and engaged they are, and how good their English is.
我刚刚问了一下两位我们的教授呢，咱们的候选人呢一定是要有本科学位啊，一定是本科学位。另外呢，雅思这边呢，如果是6分呢，也是可以做特别的考虑的啊。如果同学有特别有兴趣这个社会企业与科技创新创新管理这个项目的话呢，咱们可以先面试，然后教授和学校的这个招生部门会做特别的考虑啊。那么这个课程的话呢，我刚刚和 Jasper 教授呢也有聊天哈，他呢今年度的话招生的名额是80位，80位，就是we recruit around 80
Yes, for
next year,
yeah,
coming year we recruit 80
yes.
我刚刚和教授确认了哈，我们
actually we have already started the recruitment.
Yes,
and
yes.
We have already admitted around
we've offered to.
Yeah, we have already offered around 20 students already.
Really? Wow.
Yes. So last year the problem was we stopped applications in end of April already. So because we filled up.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, the earlier the better usually.
Yes. So this year we double it.
Yeah, but we expect so the tentative deadline for the application closing is June.
Yes.
But it might actually close even by March.
So cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because we cannot keep recruiting people, right?
Yes,
we are full. Yes,
very full. 各位同学哈，以及我们各位的渠道老师呢，刚刚呢我们的Aloysius 我们来自印度的老师呢，刚刚说到了哈，虽然我们那个表面上说是6月30号结束招生，但是呢，实际情况呢，他预计呢，可能明年3月份呢，80个名额呢就会满了，而且今天为止呢，他们已经有20个 offer 派出去了，所以说现在目前呢，也就只剩下60位名额了。那如果在座的同学呢，Aloysius哇，there's someone translated already in Chinese 那么如果在座的同学还有咱们的渠道老师呢，有这方面的一些想法尽快去申请哈，因为最近来香港读书这个事儿呢，确实非常非常的火爆在座的小伙伴们赶紧加油哦。那么除了这个报名的之外呢，然后我刚刚呢也和我的同事然后我们的一位同事呢也聊了一下，因为他去年呢在这个课程毕业的，这个课程的话呢，他不是非常在意你学的专业就像我们刚刚 Jasper 教授聊到的，就算是你是艺术专业毕业的也是可以 join 甚至你说 engineering 的。Even engineering students can join.
Yes. So we don't have any restriction on a major. So we as long as you have bachelor's degree and you are interested in starting a business, right? So almost any bachelor's degree would want to start a business. So it doesn't matter whether you are a nursing student or a doctor or an engineer or a scientist, whatever.
So 每一个我们的本科毕业的同学任何一个专业的背景的同学都是欢迎报名的不光是商科的同学，欢迎各位报名这个社会企业和创新管理项目，对吧？那我们的会议室当中呢，有同学问问题了那么we have our students 第一点 ask about the scholarship. For now, what kind of scholarship we provide?
Yeah, so we actually have of course, we have a budget for around 2 full scholarships. So it really depends on the student's capabilities. So if somebody has, already has a startup,
Yes.
which is running really well, or some students who are from very, very high scores from very good universities who have a lot of potential, and then we might actually offer 20%, 30% based on the competency.
Yes, yes. So 对于这个奖学金呢，刚刚我们的Aloysius Professor 回答了哈，就是如果您的这个公司初创企业非常的优秀或者说您来自于特别著名的大学，以及您的这个学业成绩特别优秀，那么我们这个课程呢会给您大概20%到30%的一个奖学金这个是这个课程哈。那么for the scholarship application, how can we apply it?
Yeah, so first the person needs to be admitted to the program.
Yes, of course.
And then we apply for the scholarship. There's a process to apply to the scholarship. And it's not, I think there are 2 different sources of scholarship. There is actually a graduate school scholarship as well as SEIM level scholarship as well. Yeah. So, but first the students have to go through the admission process. Only if they are admitted.
Admit, right?
Yes.
So 以说呢，各位，你首先呢要申请这个专业然后呢被录取了以后，你才有资格申请奖学金那么呢for the application for scholarship, when they received an offer, so we will send the email invitation reminder for them.
Yeah, again, so we in fact when we of course recruit people, if we think they are really competent, of course we might also recommend to the program committee for scholarships. Yes, and in fact it really depends, right? So if we basically recommend, the students might actually get the scholarship. So yeah, it all depends on their CV, their competency, and how they present themselves.
I just add one more question. For last year, I heard that we have 45 students. Among them, how many they got the scholarship?
Yeah, so actually last year, for last year's students, we actually decided to split some of the scholarship into like around 10 students and offer them at the end of the first semester based on their, so we have some students who are in the list. So based on how they perform in the first semester, we'll offer a percentage. So we not offer like full scholarship, but a percentage of the a scholarship to these 10 students out of the 40.
Yes. Wow.
40, 45.
It's very good. 就是我刚刚问了我们Aloysius Doctor 他说呢，我们去年的这个 record 来说呢，45位同学呢当中会有10位同学会获得奖学金。当然了，要看您的这个第一个 semester 的学业表现那么这个还是非常高的一个比例各位同学，如果您真的在奖学金上面特别感兴趣的话呢，欢迎您在这个学业上多多努力然后获得高的 GPA。那么
It's not just about the
not
GPA.
Just about
yeah. It's also about how will they. So, for example, in the first semester, do they start a business? How do they engage in the class people? So, how do they encourage the people to work on something which creates value to the other students? So, so how well they motivate, how well they work as a team, and so on. I think Jasper might want to add something.
Yeah, I think again. For the coming year, we might think about some of the students we'll get at the beginning of the semester already. But I think we also like this system where, based on once the program has started, based on the performance.
For the safety of your health and others. Please wear your masks and maintain good personal hygiene at all times.
我们呢，岭南大学提醒我们戴好口罩啊。
Do not eat or drink
OK，
or cause disturbance to
对。
others. Take
然
care
后
of your belongings and do not leave them
Should be
unattended.
finished soon.
Thank you
yes
for your cooperation.
為自己及他人健康着想，
yes we have 我們有 Cantonese 的 version 啊。
保持個人衞生。同時亦請為他人設想，圖書館內不准飲食及騷擾其他讀者。請注意個人場合。多謝合作。
So one more question 啊。For last year, do you have a real example for students? They are really performance very well. Just like you said, they really start a business, then they receive their scholarship.
No,
Do you have a
so
very
last year was very different, right?
different?
So in the first year, we did not really offer any scholarships.
Really?
So the scholarships only started from this academic year. So from last year, we don't have any experience. But this year, yeah, we of course yeah. So this year we will definitely offer.
Cool. 所以说
Not yet.
Not yet, not
Because they don't know yet.
所以说呢，同学们还有我们的老师们哈，下一年度呢，我们会 offer 奖学金具体的奖学金的安排呢，到时候同学们如果真的被录取了，我们再具体问题具体分析了哈。那么we come to the last minute. So first, do you have any things want to share? Any last words?
Well, I hope students are got a good impression,
yeah.
a good idea of what we do in the classroom. It might be different from other the way that you study currently, where
Yes.
you take a lot of lectures. But again, we consciously do that. I think it's fits better with your how the real world works and how, let's say, your work life after you graduate works. So I hope we gave good information for you, and you can always ask us if you have any questions.
Cool.
Aloysius?
Yeah, like again, I'm pretty sure you can search our students online and try to even reach out to our students through social media.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure they will also be happy to tell you the good and the difficult things. I will not say bad things, right? So there'll be a lot of difficult things we will push you to do because we want you to improve, and the things they think will be which are valuable to them. So just reach out to our students in social media. I'm pretty sure they will talk to you.
好的，那么我们今天呢，刚好也就4:01了啊。然后我们今天的讲座呢，关于我们社会企业和创新管理这个课程呢，也就给大家介绍这么多。我们再一次感谢我们2位教授 Jasper and Aloysius.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes. Bye bye.
Bye.
Yes.